Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade. Marcia Gay Harden. It's about to get darker in here. More precisely, 50
Ooh,
Shades
there you
darker.
go.
You like that? That was
I
a
do. And look,
heck.
and you have your darker
I
shades on and shades of gray.
This was not intentionally planned, but
Oh,
I
I
like
don't
that you
believe
pointed it
you for a
out.
minute. You stood in front of the mirror for an hour. I know you did.
You know, she didn't even see me do that, but it's probably true. 50 Shades Darker. Everybody obviously is waiting for this. It's Valentine's Day, and this movie took the world by storm, and it's back. What's
Yes.
everybody getting with the sequel?
Well, the sequel is actually, I think, the richest of the trilogy. It is romantic. It's an erotic romance with toys, but it's also got some action in it. And it also has this underbelly. I mean, it does go darker. He is in the process of transforming from kind of bad boy to a better boy. And that's what the whole movie is about. Him setting his boundaries, her setting her boundaries, and the two of them just celebrating their love. And love transforms.
Tell me about Momma Grey. Momma Grey's she's a trip. She wants her son to do well, to have a good relationship, but he's not cooperating, is he?
When you first meet Mama Gray in Fifty Shades of Grey, Christian has had girl after girl after girl. And so when she meets Anna, she's like, oh, one who just might be able to stay. She loves her. And so by 50 Shades Darker, she really loves her. And she says to her, without you around, he was lost. So Mama Gray's a bit of a protective mama bear, as we are all and should be. And she wants all her kids to be happy. Remember, she's got Rita, who's also adopted, and then she's got one more, Luke. So she wants all of her kids to be happy, and they all seem really close together. But it's Christian that gives her the trouble because she learns things about him in 50 Shades Darker. She learns about his relationship with Kim Basinger. She learns basically that her best friend betrayed her, but that her son was lured into this kind of abusive relationship, and she's pissed off about it.
Momma Grey's on a tantrum.
Yeah, rightly so.
You've had such a rich career. You've done theater, film, you have a TV show. When you get involved with a blockbuster like this that has such a viral fan base, what's it been like for you to be part of this franchise?
I can't tell you how much I love the fan base. They are great. In the very beginning, I was doing these slightly dirty little tweets that Universal said, please don't do anymore. But they would be silly things like I would take nipple clamps, and I would take a picture of nipple clamps, and then I would write in my tweet, "Dear Christian, thank you so much for the lovely sweater clasp." And then the fan base was like, "Oh, Mama Gray, that's not what that is. You don't want to know what that is." And they would just all write back with such a wonderful sense of humor, and that made me kind of go, "This is great." They're taking it all tongue in cheek a little bit, and they're having fun with it. They're enamored with Christian. They're enamored with Anna. And they're understanding it as the fantasy, the erotic fantasy that it is. And I like that. I think, you've got so many genres of film, and the erotic film is not something that is very often delved into. We have action films and gory films and horror films and all of those things, which I personally think are very difficult to watch. And this is an erotic film with a love story at its base. And so I love that that's out there, and I love that the fans are getting that.
I remember when this series of books from Yale James came out, and people were like so focused on the sex toys and the erotica, but this story is so much more. After seeing the first movie and hinting at the second movie, you realize that that's only the underlying thing going on. There's a lot more in terms of how it deals with relationships,
Yeah.
therapy, people being self-aware. Tell me about those underlying meanings that go on with 50
I think
Shades.
that is astute of you. And, as an actor, you can often laugh at yourself talking about films and adding such import. But I think it's a very important distinction that you have made, because I think if that wasn't there, if that underlying story wasn't there, I don't think it would be the phenomenon. Erotica is different than porn. This is not porn. This is a story. And the web of this story is a non-Disney Cinderella story. It is the beautiful girl next door, the kind of average and beautiful girl next door, who doesn't make a lot of money, who meets the naughty prince, and she transforms him through the power of love. Then you have the whole idea of, if a child is abused at a young age, how that affects their self-esteem as they grow older, and what, how you have to steer them away from certain things. unknown things. It could be drugs, it could be anything, but self-esteem, the importance of self-esteem, and how through the power of her love, his self-esteem is rekindled. I also don't think that he would be able to pick a woman like Anna if he hadn't had a mom like Momma Grey. Not that it's about me, but it's about me. Let's talk about me.
I sense a Momma Grey spinoff
I'm
happening.
sorry. I think there is.
I think that's a heck of an idea
That's
right there.
right.
E.L.
Momma
James, get to
Grey's
work.
room of beige, right? Momma Grey was not in the red room of pain and pleasure, although I did kind of poke around in it and see what was in there, but I wasn't allowed really in. So, but I do think those are the underlying themes, and I think that's what E.L. wants us to understand as we see these last two films. I think that's what Foley is able to bring out in the films, is that it's a transformative story. It's a love story. It's a romance. Yes, there's the erotica. Listen, we don't want it to be 50 Shades Pink. We don't want it to be 50 Shades White. We want it to be darker. We want the erotica there, but it's got a base.
Congratulations. Can't wait to see it.
Thank you.
Everybody go make sure Valentine's Day.
Good Valentine's Day
It's a
movie.
good Valentine's Day gift. Go support Marcia Gay Harden and 50 Shades Darker, coming to theaters soon.